afternoon, everyone. I'm Anup Kumar Singh. So today's session will be on OpenLayers. So I will be covering a brief introduction of OpenLayer. Then we will write some program using OpenLayer for hands-on experience. So first we will start with what is OpenLayer. So OpenLayer is a web mapping framework which is used for building interactive web maps. It is a JavaScript framework, so all the codes are function of JavaScript, and it can display vector layers, raster data, and markers loaded from any source. And using OpenLayer, it is very easy to put a dynamic map over web browser, and it is completely free and open source, so anybody can use it. And there are other web mapping APIs also, such as Leaflet, Google Map API, Bing Map API. So what are the advantages of OpenLayer over those APIs? So it is a very mature web mapping framework. It started in 2006. First version is released in 2006, and currently we are in version 6. And through using OpenLayer, we can develop web mapping application very easily, and it is a strong community of developers. So if you have got stuck anywhere, if you want to improve your coding skills, so a lot of resources are available. And it is also recognized by OSGeo, which is Open Source Geospatial Foundation. This foundation is responsible for development of open source geospatial software such as QGIS, OpenLayers, and others. And it is very feature-enriched library, so a lot of feature is provided so that your map can be interactive. So OpenLayer maps can be divided into 3 components: view, layers, and target container. So first part, map is the core component of OpenLayer. So this map is only rendered to a target container. So suppose you want to render a map, so you can create a div tag, and in that you have to assign an ID to that div tag. So here I have assigned, for example, map. You can see here. Next is view. View is responsible things like center and zooming, like how many levels of zooming you want, and maximum it can be 28. And projection of maps, like you want to use WGS 84 or ESPZ 430. So a lot of projection it supports, so it's very enriched in that also. And next is layer. So layer is a visual representation of data from a source. So layer is an array, and in this you can add multiple of layers. Suppose here I've added one layer, and its source I've given is OpenStreetMap. Here you can see. So next part is these 3 combined will work as a sample code for OpenLayer. So here I am presenting a snap of how the program structure will look of OpenLayer. So suppose I'm creating a map, and so interface will be like this: layers. What are the layers? Here I have given example of OSM. Next is view. In view you can specify center, zoom, projection, and whether any restrict is there, you want to restrict to any specific lat long or XY coordinates. And target will be map which is getting rendered. So now we will move to hands-on experience. So we will try to write some programs. So for this I will be using VS Code. It is an editor provided by Microsoft. It stands for Visual Studio Code. So you can go to Google and you just type VS Code. You can download so from this our official website of VS Code, and it is available for various platforms. So you can download it for Windows also, for Linux also, and for Mac also. So I have already downloaded this editor. So you can see here I have downloaded. Next is we will go to OpenLayer website. So you can go to OpenLayers. Here it is official website. So currently you can see version 6.5.0 is there, and it has very good documentation also, and a lot of examples is there given. So you can use these examples, and you can make your skills good in this programming. So we'll go to this version 6.5.0. There are 3 ways you can install in your OpenLayer library in your program. First is through Node Packet Manager, npm install OL. Next is you can link through CDN, which is central repository of network. So, but it is not recommended for production. Next is you can download the libraries. There are 2 libraries here given. First one doesn't include any example or documentation, and next is includes all the documentation along with library. So I've already downloaded these libraries. So I will show you how it looks like. So this is the library for OpenLayer version 6.5.0. There are 4 files are there. So first one is OL CSS. This will contains the style sheet of OpenLayer. Next is for map OL CSS. Next is OL JSS file. This is for all the functions of Java provided by this OpenLayer. Next is JS file for map. So now we'll try to make our first program. So this VS Code I opened. You can open it from just clicking on Windows and just type VS and it will come. So from here you can click and it will open VS Code. So here you open just one folder. So, and suppose I want to make a new project. So just suppose I am giving OpenLayer test. So we have to import this. Sorry, some issues there. I will again try to. Yes. So from here you can import open folder. So you will go to desktop, and here I have created this OpenLayer test. So it will come like this. So here first we'll add one HTML file, index.html. Next we'll add one CSS file for styling. Next we'll add one main.javascript file, main.js, I have named it. So all the HTML code will be go to this, and all the cascading style sheet codes will be go to in style.css, and all the OpenLayer related code will go to this main.js. So to include the library of OpenLayer, so we can directly export it. Just drag and drop. So here this library has come and it contains all 4 files. So this is the way you can start your programming in using OpenLayer. So I will show you some programs. So first it's like publishing just OpenStreetMap. It's like Hello World program. So I've selected already. I've developed one first web map. So I've selected this. So you can see this is the HTML tag. So here I've created one div. and I've assigned ID to web map, which can be rendered to our web browser. So first we'll create a function. I created a function called function init, and we take a variable called map, and this will take an interface of map. So here we are creating an object of map in map. After that, all the three layers, that is view, layer, and target, we have to specify each what we are going to show there. So suppose I am assigning center as 0, 0, zoom level as 6. So center 0, 0, it will go to XY coordinate. It is using XY coordinate if you are not assigning any projection. So by default, it uses BIM Mercator projection, that is EPSG 3857. So in that, whole thing is taken as XY coordinates. You can use a light long also. This is called word geodetic system, like ESPG 4326. So if you are not specifying, by default, it will take XY coordinates. And zoom level, you can assign from 2 to 28, any values. And layers, here I've created one layer, new ol.layer.tile. And in that source, I have assigned OpenStreetMap. OSM stands for OpenStreetMap. And in target, I have to give the ID which I have created in div tag. Here div tag was there, and ID is web map. So I have assigned this ID. So this will show a OpenStreetMap on Brave browser. So we can run it through going to run and run without debugging. So we will be using Chrome for this. Just hold on. So we will run this using shortcut Control F5 and Chrome. So here you can see it is going to 0, 0 coordinate, and you can zoom options is there, plus and minus. So you can go to like level till level 28. So 28 times you can zoom it, and you can zoom out also. So using minus, so you can go to like this is Indian region. So to know to see if any error is there, you can open developer tools, which you can open like here. You go to this options, and here you go to more tools, and more tools you will go see developer tools. So here code will come, and any error will come, it will come to console. Right now any error is not there, so that's why console is not coming. So error is, it is not showing. So suppose next suppose you are clicking anywhere and you want that coordinate, what is that XY coordinate? So suppose here I am clicking, I am not getting, so to get that coordinate, we can add a function called click. So here it is, map. So map.on and click. On click, this function will called, and it will take a parameter called e. And in console.log, I will write the coordinates of that position. So suppose if we run this, first we'll save this, and if we run this, then again we are going to developer tools, console, and suppose now you click anywhere. Yeah, it is giving XY coordinates. So you can see here, this first one is X, second next one is Y. Again you click anywhere, so it will again give. So here you can get any position on the word by just clicking. And so I have taken the position of Delhi here, which is around this. So now I'm assigning our center to Delhi. So I'm commenting this 0, 0, and now center is Delhi. So it will open near center. near to Delhi. So again we'll run, if we run this program. So now it is showing New Delhi. So you can see earlier it was showing somewhere some nearby Arabian Sea region. Now it is showing New Delhi. You can also assign zoom labels and restrict, like maximum zoom level 28 it is available, but you can restrict user to go to a zoom level. So suppose we assigning max zoom is 10 and mean zoom as 2. We'll save this, again we'll rerun, and now it is at 6 levels. So we are trying to zoom in 1, 2, 3, 4. After that it will not zoom. So you have restricted the user to maximum zoom level 10. Same way you can zoom out to an extent, like mean zoom you can assign. Here I have assigned 2, so it will go till 2. So this way you can customize your map, and so many other options are there here in OpenLayer, like you can assign extent also, projection also. So for that you can go to documentation part of OpenLayer. So you can go to docs, and docs, go to API docs, and here just you type view, OL view. We are using OpenLayer view. So many options are there. So yeah, here like center is there, and enable rotation is there, extent is there. You can assign extent, like till how extend boundary you can assign. So that part only should be visible. Beyond that it should be not visible. You can assign max resolution, min resolution, max zoom, min zoom. So many options are there. So you can go there and you can read it and you can implement it. It's very easy, and documentation is very good. And it is and so many resources are available over Stack Overflow and other websites. So you can use these and try to use these options. So next I will show you how rotation works. So now rotation is rotation is not there. So suppose you want to rotate the map. So I will enable this option. It was commented. I think so. So now again we will run, and as you can see now map is rotated. So you can straight it by clicking, one arrow is provided here, so you can click and it will come straight. So the simple methods, and you can publish such a good map using OpenLayer. So now I will show other options also. So I will show you other codes, like publishing raster layers. Like currently I'm publishing just one layer, that is OpenStreetMap. We can publish other layers also. So to do that we can I'm selecting this program and I will show you the details. So this is the program, this is the OpenLayer library, and after that I've included some vector data, index.html, main.js, and styling. So main.js will contain the code of OpenLayer, and index.html will contain all the HTML tags. So if you go to main.js, here I'm trying to publish more than one layer. In that program we are publishing just one layer, OpenStreetMap. So rather than publishing just one layer, what here we are doing, we are grouping the layers into one. So view part will be remain same. So we are creating one map object, and after that we are assigning all the instances of it. So view part will remain same, how we are doing in previous one. Target will also same. So here I will create a div ID with js.map. So if you open this, here I have assigned ID JS map. So these two parts now same, but layer part, what we are doing, we are grouping. So I've created base layers. So for creating a base layer, you are taking declaring an object of base layer. So I created for like OpenStreetMap standard, I created a base layer and I have assigned it to new ol.layer.tile. So source will be in this case OSM, and standard OSM doesn't need any URL. So URL I will not assigning, and visibility I have assigned it false, and I have given one title which can be used for which can be used for selecting these layers. So here I have given title OpenStreetMap standard. So if we go to website of OpenStreetMap, here you can see this is the standard OSM which we were displaying in previous program. So there are so many layers are there, like cycle IOSM, cycle map, transport map, and humanitarian. So we are using this humanitarian and we are displaying it in our map. So for that, you need to assign URL, that is tile. So next we have publishing this OpenStreetMap humanitarian. So for this also we have created one object. In that we are creating one instance of OpenLayer tile, and source we are assigning as OSM only. But here we need to assign the URL of that tile. So for this URL will be https and tile.openstreetmap.fr hot, and this will publish humanitarian map over. Just hold on 1 minute. Hello. Yeah, so it will publish OpenStreetMap humanitarian, and visibility in this case I have given true. So currently this layer will get published, and title I have assigned OpenStreetMap humanitarian. Next I am publishing this estimate terrain. So this also I will show you how it looks like. So this is how it's looked like estimate terrains. So here also so many options are there, like toner they are providing, terrain they are providing, watercolor they are providing along with that, but you have to give attribution in the case of estimate terrain maps. So attribution will be like this for toner and terrain, and for watercolor it will be here like this. Next, tiles URL also you can get. So for toner, this is the URL. So we are using terrain, so we'll use this URL. And next is for watercolor. So you can publish any map you want, just you have to give the attribution. So here also I have created one variable, and I have assigned I have created new OL layer.tile. So in this variable, I am publishing this estimate terrain map. So for this OL source will be XYZ rather than OSM, it will be XYZ, and URL will be already I have shown you. So I will copy that URL here, this one. And for attribution, you can go and you should provide attribution. So this HTML they have given, and you can copy this. So already I have copied here attributions. And visibility in this case I have given false, and title is estimate terrain. So there are two options. You can publish this. So I've created the base layers. Now we have to group these layers. So two ways are there. Like individually we can add layers, map.add layer. Another way we can create a group and we'll add that to base layer group. So here I've created one object, base layer group, and I'm assigning the instance of this OL layer.group, and in layer I'm assigning these OpenStreetMap standards, which I've created here, and OpenStreet humanitarian, and next is estimate terrain. After that, I'm adding this base layer group to map through using map.add layer base layer group. So now I will run this program. So currently I have given OpenStreet humanitarian as true, so it should publish street map humanitarian. So I will run this program using Chrome. So you can see it is giving humanitarian. So suppose you want to make the humanitarian false and want to publish this estimate terrain map. So you have to make it false. And here visibility you have to make true. So if we run again, if we reload it, then it will publish estimate terrain map. So you can see this is estimate terrain map, and first one was OpenStreetMap humanitarian. So through this way you can publish layer, but and vector data also you can publish. So for publishing vector data you can use GeoJSON. GeoJSON is geospatial data for JavaScript object notation. So you can go to this website and you can create vector data in GeoJSON format using this website. So suppose you want to construct the boundary of Uttarakhand. So here are so many options are there, like polyline is there, polygon is there, and rectangle is there, and point is there. So if you are selecting a so we have to draw a boundary, so we'll select a polygon. So this will be not accurate, just I'm giving you one sample. So you can click these points and for ending the polygon you have to click on the first point. So this is the GeoJSON file. So it has lat long of all the points you have clicked in a polygon format. So type it is giving polygon. So this vector data can of three type: point, polygon, and line. So here I have created one polygon. You can create a point also. So suppose we are creating a point over Chandigarh. So it has created one point. So you can see here it has created one point, and in point only one coordinate will be there. So that is the lat long of that point. So you can make table also. So you want to add, like you have to specify what these are. So suppose I will write it as a state and UT. So first one is Uttarakhand, UK, I will write. Next one is Chandigarh. So we can provide additional info also by adding new columns. So suppose I am giving additional info. So UK is a state and Chandigarh is a union territory. So I can write UT. So this way you can create GeoJSON using this geojson.io, and you can save this file in various format like GeoJSON, TopoJSON, CSV, KML, and save file. So I will be saving this as GeoJSON. So this file got saved here. So it is here, you can see it. So we can copy these files to our project. So suppose here our project was there, raster layer, and here vector data was there. So we can copy here. Already I have copied one file I created earlier, state.json, and these vector polygon, point, or line we can publish over our map. So for that, what we need to do? So we need to uncomment this. For that, shortcut is Control /. So we are creating a variable called state geojson, and we are assigning a layer of vector image using new ol.layer.vector image. So source in this case vector is there, vector files will be there, and that and URL will be local only. So I am giving relative path here, and format we are giving new ol.format, and it is GeoJSON, so we have to give GeoJSON format. By default, it uses WGS84 projection. So if you want any other projection, you can assign projection also. So visibility we can make true, and title we can assign into. So through these methods you can publish a vector data. Now I will show you how to switch these base layer. I have created 3 base layers. So rather than all the time we have to make it true through coding, we can use radio buttons and we can switch these layers. So for this I will open a new project. So layer switcher, I have given it name. So here also OpenLayer library is there. After that, I've created this main.js will be there, and next index.html. So what we are doing here, we want to switch between these layers rather than each time writing the code and making visibility true and false. So that based on radio button, we can switch between the layers. So just clicking on radio button, we can go to OpenStreetMap standard or instrument terrain or OpenStreetMap humanitarian. So these are the header of HTML5, and after that I've created one div class, and this class I would assign grid container. So in this what I am creating, this is just HTML, and in this I am creating radio buttons. So I have created grid 1. In grid 1 I am assigning radio buttons, and grid 2 I am assigning this map thing. So after that I have created in sidebar so that it can go to left or right side. By default it will go to left side of web browser. After that I am assigning one heading, base layers, and after that I am creating 3 input radio button, one for OpenStreetMap standard, one for instrument terrain, and one for OpenStreetMap humanitarian. So in main.js, I have given one title to each these layers. So for OpenStreetMap standard, I have given this title. So these title we have to assign to these radio buttons so that it can be linked. And based on your clicking, that map should be get selected. So that value we have to assign here. So OpenStreetMap standard, and first one I've given checked. So by default, when we start running this program, so by default this OpenStreetMap standard will be checked. and name I've assigned OSM standard. Next, I have created one more radio button for instrument terrain, same way. And next, I have created OpenStreetMap for humanitarian. And in grid 2, I have assigned this target container for map, that is JS map. So I've done some styling also for this, so that it can appear in left side of browser. So for that, I've added a grid for grid container where display will be grid form, and columns, like I've divided a browser into 2 columns. So first one will be 25, next will be 80, and row will be 1 row, and that height of that row will be 100 VH. And sidebar margin I am assigning 15. So you can assign anything like 20 also you can assign. It's up to you. The way it should look good on a web browser. That is the main part of styling. So after that, in main.js, what we are doing? First part, this part will be remain same till target. Next, base layer already I have shown you in previous maps. That 3 base map I've created: OpenStreetMap, humanitarian, and instrument terrain. And next is I am creating one layer group that I already have shown you in previous example. So here in this layers, I am adding all these 3 tiles: OpenStreetMap standard, humanitarian, and instrument terrain. After that, I am adding this group of layers to our map. So for that, map.add layer, base layer group, this base layer group which I have created a variable. In this, I have assigned all the layers. So now I am writing this layer switcher logic, like how it will work. So for that, I am creating one variable called constant base layer elements. So here we are using JavaScript for this. So from document, it will select query selector all, and in sidebar, it should select sidebar from that, because we are mainly focusing on sidebar here. This class, in this 3 radio buttons are there, and in that we are going for radio buttons. So input type should be radio. So now all these radio, for this I will run a for loop for all these radio buttons. So right now we have 3, so it will run 3 times. So I am creating a variable base layer element of base layer elements. So for it will iterate for all the elements of base layer elements in the variable base layer element. So I'm adding one event listener, so that if any change is there from input from user side, like it is if it is clicking, then it should be handled by this event listener. So for that, we are adding one event listener. So if change is there, then this function will get called. In this function, we are adding all the logic behind event layer switcher. So first we are assigning this base layer element value to current value. So current value of base layer elements. After that, for each element, we are checking whether the title of this base layer is matching with the title what we have assigned here. So if it is matching, then that element we are making visible using set visible. So base layer title is equal to base layer elements value, then that element we are making visible. So now we'll try to run this program and we'll show how it will come over browser. So we will be using Control F5 shortcut for this. So you can see in left side sidebar, we have created these elements, HTML elements. So 3 radio buttons are there. for selecting each maps. By default, I have checked this one, so it is showing this one, and here also I made this true by default, so it will show OpenStreetMap standard first. Here you can show I made this true. So now you can click on any radio button and that image should appear. So suppose I am selecting OSM humanitarian, so humanitarian map is appearing over the same region. So that also we can zoom in, zoom out. And next is estimate terrain. So now this is also appearing. So through these radio buttons, we can make a layer switcher. So these are the basic features of OpenStreetMap, and it has so many features. Like I will show you through its documentation. Like add layer, we were using for adding multiple layers. So in map, we can add multiple layers. So layers are there. So for each function, proper documentations are there. So you can use those. So I've shown you that attribution was there. So using, so for some maps like Bing also, you need, like if you want to publish Bing map, you need to create one login there and you need a key. So you can publish Bing map also. So these attribution which I have added here, it will show downside the map. So other APIs are also there for this web mapping, such leaflet. So leaflet is also very popular, but it is very small in size and so many features are not there in leaflet compared to OpenLayers. So leaflet has just a 64K size of code, but OpenLayers has 700K size. So mainly leaflet is used for mobile friendly applications which has less features, but through OpenLayers you can create a very good web mapping websites, and it is very mature also. So through this we will end our session, and we will break for 5 minutes and we will start after that, and I will try to answer your doubts. So thank you.